Hello, everybody. It's Ron and Hope Unfiltered, and we're already tickled. Real, raw, and relevant. They asked what we were talking about today, and I said we're going to talk about back hair.
No, we said we're going to talk about overcoming someone's
hair.
pet peeves. Someone you're dating, someone you're married to.
Your own pet peeves.
The things that bother you that somebody else possesses, their habits, their traits. And then immediately you said back hair as if I had ever grown a back hair.
Okay. No, in your 50s, it stops growing on your head and starts growing on your back.
No.
And for women, it stops growing at your eyebrows. Half your eyebrows stop growing.
Why?
It's hormonal, and it starts growing on your chin.
Wait a minute.
So weird.
I'm almost 56. I've been with you forever. I've never heard your eyebrows quit growing.
They stop about halfway.
So that's why you see older women and it looks like a pencil?
They have to draw it on because hormonally.
So they just fall out.
No, they just stop growing. They don't fall out. They just disappear. But same amount.
Are you being for real?
I'm for real. The same amount that disappear start growing on your chin. Yes.
That's one of my pet peeves.
What? Not having eyebrow hair or chin hair? Chin hair? Yeah, I plucked mine.
I remember the first time I saw you doing that, I'm like,
what's happening?
I'm going to walk away and pretend I never saw
You said, what is happening?
There. Yep.
It's a true phenomenon.
We'll talk about some of ours. Here's what we'll do. We'll laugh a little bit talking about some of ours. Then I just want to talk about really a couple of biblical principles.
You told me to be nice.
To help you understand it. I don't want you to hurt my feelings. Mind if you be funny? I don't want you to hurt my feelings.
Well, baby, we shouldn't even talk about this then because you're going to get your feelings
hurt. You ain't got to hurt my feelings. Why you got to hurt my feelings? Talk about the things you don't like.
Back hair. Coughing.
I've just about quit coughing.
No, you just
At nighttime, I have just about quit coughing.
Okay.
I had acid reflux, but Miss Mercy over here,
That's one of your pet peeves.
Miss Mercy.
Is my great amount
your ability
of
to keep the law. Your and Moses' ability to be a lawgiver.
Oh, God.
Yep, that's one thing. So Miss Mercy over here, I'm sitting there diagnosed with acid reflux, and when I lay down my head at night, you can't utter a sound, you can't cough, can't clear your throat, can't do nothing that would give any indication of what your struggle is. But we won't talk about snoring.
No, we won't. You said I've started snoring. What is up with that?
Snoring?
Yeah.
It's not even snoring.
Ron, you said this morning
it's not
that
even
it used
snoring.
to be every now and then.
You went for 15 or 20 years. We jumped right in this thing, didn't we? You went for 15 or 20 years. I couldn't even hear you breathe. I'm serious. I would get up in the middle of the night because I was always that one with the kids and everything. I could hear if their breathing changed.
Where is she?
Couldn't hear you. You didn't move. You got in your place. You got settled, and you didn't move. I couldn't hear you, but something has happened.
Tell me about it.
I've even got up in the morning and said, did you take something? Have you taken a sleeping pill?
Tell me about it.
Or something? No, I can't.
Please.
No, because
I want to hear it.
It's animalistic.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
I can't.
Do a demonstration.
It's not rhythmic. It's like, it's not rhythmic. You know how people do that? They snore and then they blow.
Yeah, like you. This is yours. You ready, y'all?
Okay.
This is Ron's.
I blow bubbles.
He goes.
But you know what? You can live with.
Okay, now what do I do?
I can't.
Please.
I'll blow snot everywhere if I do it.
Try.
I can't. It can't. I don't know.
You did it this morning, and it was funny.
Yours is just outbursts of snore. It's not just ebb and flow.
I'm catching my
breath. It's not the ebb and flow of air.
Is it like I'm catching my breath or something?
No. It's like you're being
tortured.
Strangled.
I think I need a CPAP machine.
No. I can't,
you don't want to lay down with me and have that
I can't look
mask
over there
on
and
my
you look
face?
like alien looking beside
like
me.
Master Syphidius?
I can't do that.
Oh, okay.
It's
Is that a turnoff?
It's a
or
night.
A pet peeve?
It's a night full of.
Is it? Would that be a turnoff? or just a pet peeve?
It keeps me awake. That's why you
No,
look
if
at me.
you looked at me with the
That's
mask
why you look at
on,
me every morning and say, "Did you sleep good?" Why do you ask
listen to
me that? Because I don't look like I
I'm
slept
caring. I care.
good. Mercy, it's mercy.
Listen, if you looked over and I had a mask on, would that be a turnoff? Yes or no? What if it was keeping me alive?
We're not talking about life or death. We're talking about turn on.
Yeah. Would that be a turn on?
It would be.
Or turn off?
It would be a hurdle.
It'd be a hurdle.
It would be a hurdle.
Okay.
But love would help me overcome
We have a
it.
lot of friends who sleep with those things
I
on.
know. But see what I did. Let's tell them what we did, because people got an opinion about everything. But we gave ourselves something for Christmas this year.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of money, and we said we're gonna buy this for each other. We bought the. I hate to put the thing out there. We ought to be advertising for us. We bought the sleep number thing.
Yeah. Sleep
So
number bed.
So we can tilt it.
Yeah.
We can tilt it.
Because of your
We tilt it.
great coughing at night.
Well, has it not gotten better?
Yes. Much better.
It's gotten much better. And I got to be honest with you, that little bit has helped me. So I go in there, and I ain't like sitting up, but I just tilt that thing a little bit, and it has, let me tell you something, it has revolutionized my sleep habits, because nobody couldn't stand what I was experiencing more than me. You lay down and feel like you're choking with all that acid reflux. Then you wake up and your throat's on fire, burning from all that stuff. I hated it. And all they want to do is give me more medicine. I'm like, got to be something here. And just taking that little bed and tilting, I said, well, let's try this. Things are expensive as crap, but I'm like, you know what? I got to sleep. So we went and bought one,
Sleep's
and
important.
it has helped me.
Yeah.
It has helped me. But you won't tilt yours.
Because I sleep on my side.
But you won't tilt
and
yours.
I don't want
and I've
my
noticed
body
something,
jacked up.
But I've noticed
halfway
something when you
and trying
tilt
to-
yours up, that animalist, it'll go back to normal. The animal part will leave, because you sound like you're choking too.
Okay. There it is. There it is.
It's something I didn't.
Scares you? I think I'm just paying you back for all the years of coughing.
Baby, it's not like that. I cough like on the way to sleep. I'm talking about from the time you go to bed to the time you wake up. That's not payback.
You know, that's why my mom and daddy started sleeping in separate rooms.
I can't do that. It makes me depressed thinking about that.
Okay, so
I waited a long time to get married so I could sleep with a woman, and I won't give that up easily. So
okay.
we're gonna believe that we're not CPAP machines.
So y'all pray for me.
And medicines and all that are not needed anymore. That our sleep number bed was God's answer of grace and mercy to us. And if you know what I did last night? You're doing that, and I got your remote. And I went,
Oh, you tried to lift me up, Ronald.
you got up this morning.
You told me this morning mine was down.
I told you mine was down.
I'm gonna start videoing you. Your
You ain't
responses.
videoing nobody. You go to bed 2 hours before me, and you asleep. You ain't gonna step video nothing. Pet peeves, overcoming pet peeves in all kind of relationships. Anybody
Because they're inevitable.
Anybody that you love, anybody you care about,
They're inevitable.
Okay, anybody that you care about, from friend all the way to a spouse. The way you spell relationship is TIME. You're going to have to invest time. And over time, you learn things about them that are aggravating. Okay? And what are some of those? You laugh now, but it don't make you laugh all the time.
Right.
And then a couple of things, just some biblical principles to remind you of focus and perspective. Of maybe how you can overcome these things if they're really becoming an obstacle in a relationship. Like, I can't handle, you didn't like back hair. My daddy was a very hairy man. I guess I've just inherited it. Do you don't like back hair, or you don't like the fact that you're my groomer? Because you made me go get waxed one time. Do you remember what happened?
I do, and your whole body broke out.
My whole back broke out, like out of measles. And I came out there saying, I don't know what the remedy is, but we will never do that again.
So now I groom you with
Now
the
you
little
groom me.
clippers. Zzz.
Now you groom me, and it's all nice, neat, and my little back is slick, but I don't know what to do. It's either that or waxing. Waxing ain't gonna happen.
I don't mind grooming you. I'd lots rather groom you than to see nasty back hair, and especially wet back hair.
What about when it grows
In a
over the
pool.
What about when it grows over the shoulders?
In a
Look.
resort, on vacation. I just cannot physically get into the pool.
I like
seeing-
it when they
after
get out of the
seeing it.
water,
And it's
and they have so much back hair. When they get out of the water, their back hair is like spells something.
Ron. It's so
Like
bad.
like writes their name across
I
their back or
cannot.
something.
I can't. I just don't know how a woman could put her hands around her husband's back and just. I
Okay,
can't.
you
That's
don't like
mine.
back
I don't
hair.
like
Are
it.
ready for mine? What's the number one thing I can't take?
Dirty, ugly, unmanicured feet.
I can't take bad feet.
Yep.
I can't overcome it. Do I tell them the story?
You
Do
can
I tell them the story?
She
They
might
gonna
be
think,
listening.
do you think I shallow? Do you think I should? No, she don't know she is. I never told
she
her.
don't. Oh, she'll know when you describe
No,
that foot.
no, she don't either. She don't know who she is because I just disappeared.
Oh, okay.
There was no discussion. I just disappeared.
Okay.
Y'all, I don't have a foot fetish thing,
No.
but I can't get past bad feet.
No, we had a conversation
I can't get
yesterday
past
about
it.
feet.
I can't get past it.
And Ron, I mean, this was 30 minutes of conversation, y'all, of Ron describing the feet that he hates. I mean, he's like, I don't like the second toe longer than the first toe.
No, it's not the second. It's when the second toe is way longer and the knuckle goes down.
You said it had a knuckle and then the toenail points
and
down.
the
I mean, he is so
Yeah,
descriptive.
I can't tell. Well, let me tell you how big a deal this is to me. And Hope ain't gonna get mad when I say this because Hope knows the person. The person's precious, actually. But Hope, far and away, is the most beautiful woman to this day that I've ever dated, and of course I married her. But probably outside of Hope, one of the prettiest ladies I ever dated. That is actually a precious person, and Hope knows her fairly well. Before Hope got there, I dated this girl, and literally asked her out. She's a very attractive girl. I didn't know her. I spotted her in a crowd.
You only asked her out because she was pretty.
She was pretty. There's no doubt about it. I didn't know her, so that was the only reason. I spotted her in the crowd. I asked her out, took her to dinner on a Friday night. We were in college. Well, the next morning, my college is only about an hour and a half from my house. For some reason, the next morning I was going to be driving back home, and she said, "Well, why don't you come by breakfast time and we'll drink a cup of coffee before you leave?" And I'm like, "That's cool. I enjoyed the date. That's cool. I'll come by and do that." So the next morning I went down to her dorm to get her to literally have a cup of coffee, and she came down, in the Saturday, college
Sweats.
student thing, sweats and a hoodie and hair pulled back in a ponytail. She was still a pretty lady, but she was barefooted. And I could not believe.
What you saw.
I just couldn't believe it. My heart
Fail. It just
failed.
sank.
Here's the thing. You could have got like 3 fingers between her first and second toe.
So like a web.
I can't explain it. It was a lot of room.
A lot of room.
It was a lot of room. And I was trying to talk to her, and I could,
You thought she could have just been standing
like she was
wrong or
standing in
something.
the grass, and I was waiting for her to cut it.
Ron.
I couldn't.
Carpenter, you said cut it. Oh my God. Like this. Oh God.
And I never asked her out again.
Ron.
I never asked her out again. I'm so.
You just couldn't
Y'all
go
pray
there.
for me for my shallowness.
You couldn't go there.
I couldn't get past. Listen, I can get past millions of things. You know me. You got all kind of stuff, and you're like, "Don't that
Oh, I
gross?"
do?
You're like, "But
I
you'll
have
tell,
all kind of
no, but
stuff.
you'll tell me. You say, "Don't that gross you out?" And I'm like, "No." Things that gross you out, they don't gross me out. But I can't get past bad foot. What I tell the ladies around here, they come walking around and got a crusty heel. I'm like,
He'll say, you need to go
are
get
me
a
and Hope
pedicure
going to have
today."
to send you to this place, as a part of your assignment to go in here? You cannot walk around here and be having all jangled up kind of feet. And I can always tell when they done their feet because they all start wearing sneakers and closed-toe shoes.
Or they'll say, "Don't look, don't look."
Yeah, or they'll take their feet and do like this. Or during staff meeting, they all got them hid. They know that they hadn't taken care of it. I can't take it. I don't know. That's just
It's a hygiene thing.
That's
I
just
think.
a big thing with me. I can't get past it. So here again, very pretty lady, and that
Well, I'm
one
glad
thing
I had
couldn't get
good
past.
feet.
Yours were a huge thing because your toes were one of the first things I saw. You had on white hose, you had on red toes, and here's the thing. People built like you have very long legs, long arms, long fingers would usually have long toes. You got the stubbiest little toes. And they didn't even look like they belonged with your body. And I remember that was one thing. I was like, she's got cute feet. I remember that.
Thank you, Lord. He didn't have
So
to overcome that.
your feet helped bring us together, baby, and I'm
I know.
grateful for that.
I know.
That's one of my things, though, is just
Bad feet.
I can't. It's not the type of it's unkept. I just can't. A woman's got to keep her feet up. Just keep your feet up. I'll tell you, go get your feet done if we couldn't eat groceries.
Oh my Lord.
I'm like, you know what? We'll skip supper tonight. Go do your feet.
Ron.
So what's another one of yours? Don't hurt my feelings.
I think another one of mine is like bad teeth.
Now, baby, everybody ain't got the money to go get five
I'm not
sets of
talking
braces
about
like you
that.
had.
I'm talking about brushing your teeth, having dirty,
okay. You're talking about hygiene.
discolored teeth.
You're talking about hygiene.
Yes.
You don't when they smile and get bread.
Ron, yes. Bread or like pepper. Or, just like you can tell they've not cleaned their teeth.
That's another thing. I'm kind of over about that.
Like anybody can
I'm
brush their
flossing
teeth.
all day.
Yes.
I'm brushing all day. I ain't even telling how many times a day I brush my teeth.
I mean, most people have insurance. Most people, where you can go and get a tooth cleaned.
But now, when it comes to straightening them stuff, everybody can't pay for that.
No.
Because, you had braces like 13 times. Everybody can't do that. You have rebellious. She has rebellious teeth. How many times do you have braces?
2 full sets and then 1 half set.
You had one before I
When I was
married
12, one when I got married to you,
Yes.
like in my 30s.
Then
And then
again-
after that, I had to get a half a set on the bottom. Yep, because my bottom tooth just wanted to kick out.
I don't know what was wrong. They just wouldn't be still. They wouldn't be still.
What about you? What's another one? Let me say another one of mine. People that are negative. That is a huge, huge, huge pet peeve to me. It's like every time you're around them, it's always something negative. They're always expecting the worst. What's wrong? Is something wrong? I mean, anything. You say something to them and they'll have a negative
that's tough.
outcome. They'll have something.
Now, I'm
I
talking
don't
about-
know if I do that because this will happen. Or da, 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 da.
I build this as people you're in relationship with, and you have to take the bad with the good to stay in relationship. That kind of person, I don't know that I could be in a relationship with to begin with.
Right.
If every time I'm around you, I got to encourage you, that's tough.
No, it's
That's
not
right.
even just encouraging. It's like when you when they'll give you all the negatives, all
They'll
the
give you a
big
reason why it
reasons
can't be.
And then I'll come back with something positive, and they're like, yeah, but
Yep.
they never see the glass half full.
Yep, it's always half empty. And I would piggyback off that. Mine would be drama. You know how I am about
Yeah,
drama.
somebody who always got something
Somebody
swirling.
that I don't care what room you put them in, if it's peaceful, they will create it.
Yeah.
Just create drama. Those people don't last long with me, even on my staff, but they don't last long with me in a relationship at all because I just do not. I talk about the 4 forms of energy and the things that deplete you and the things that replenish you.
Yeah.
Emotionally, my tank on a drama-filled person will go empty like that. I have such little tolerance for just somebody who wants to create something where something don't even exist.
Yeah, just looking for something, wanting to create drama.
And I can't.
That's a toxic person.
Yep. Now, see here again, we've gone to, I don't even know if I could be in a relationship with that in the first place. That ain't something I could overlook. I just don't know if I could be I can be an acquaintance, I can know you, but to be a personal friend of someone who always is inviting
Right,
drama
because
into my environment, I don't think I
Your
could do it.
circle, you need to make sure you're like-minded. You're
gotta be
going in
clean.
the same direction as, and I can't go in that direction with you. And so I'll still steer clear of you. Even if you're in my family, If you're a friend, it will be minimum. I'm not going out to eat with you much. I'm not going to invite you on vacation. I just can't take it. You can't either.
Now, here's a huge one with me. Now I've moved out of marriage into some other areas. A pet peeve of mine is when you want me to maintain the relationship. You know me, you know every one of my close friends. There are not many. We pick up where we left off.
But truthfully, like we started, relationships are built on time. You have to have some maintenance.
But we spend time. But between time, well, you hadn't called me in 2 weeks. Me and my friends never do that.
You're a dude.
Why hadn't we all? Why you hadn't texted me? That they would. If one of my friends did, I'd go. What? I have a friend, and just the best guy, and probably nobody on here much would know who he is, but I've had other people who would always see that I spent a great deal of time with this person, and they would ask me, they'd say, "Why him?" And they thought it was odd.
Yeah.
Just such a normal guy.
Mm-hmm.
And, you got all this exposure and you're doing all this stuff and you're traveling the world preaching, and yet when you get some time to spend with somebody, you chose him. And he just seems so normal.
That's why.
And I told him, I said, this person you're talking about, I can get in a car and we can drive to University of South Carolina football game, and I said, I can say nothing for 2 hours because I'm stressed, I'm overwhelmed. I just got out of a 13-hour work day. We're driving down that night, it's late, and we're going for the game the next day. I don't have to say a word, and nothing is said and nothing is expected. I can talk the whole time. I can talk the whole time. And I can talk about whatever I want to talk about. There is no maintenance to the relationship, and there's no expectation to the relationship.
No pressure.
Just love him. I believe he loves me, and whatever happens when we get together, we don't bring a lot of each other's problems to each other, But there's been times where he's literally picked me up to go somewhere, and I've just freaking been overwhelmed, and I just look at him and say, you know what? I need you to give me about an hour, and he just drives.
Yeah.
Not, he don't go home and call his wife and say, well, you know what, this is the last time I'm bringing Ron. Ron don't even talk when we get together. So a relationship that I have to coddle and maintain it, or there's a fence, that's a huge pet peeve to me.
Too old for that?
Yeah, a huge pet peeve. Well, I don't know that I did it good when I was young, but certainly at this point in my life, that's not attractive.
Right.
Okay, I've done 2 in a row, you got to do one. Get away from Ron, go to another kind of pet peeve.
I said the negative person. That's huge for me. I can't stand it. Now, that's a drain for me, is being around somebody who's so negative. Because I have on purpose always filled my life, the world calls it positive energy, but with positivity. And I try to say what God says, and I try to see the best.
That's the only way to live a happy life.
It is.
You got to have a great outlook.
You do. Because there's tons of things wrong to look at.
Yeah, it's funny today. We had staff meetings today where I had to give some not so great news to 172 staff people. But when it was over with, I said, I'm not worried a bit. God's got us, blah, blah. You take it.
Yeah.
But I have a positive outlook. I don't understand exactly why I'm having to deal with this specific thing.
Right.
But when it's all said and done, we're going to be fine. And God's got a purpose.
Scripture says, who by worrying can add one minute to your life? Why worry about the things that may or may not happen?
And certainly don't worry about what you can't control.
Right.
And I like what John Maxwell said at 2:12. The things you can control, put it in front of you. The things you can't control, put it behind you. I thought that is extremely simple and life-changing.
Yep.
Why do I have it in front of me if I can't do anything about it anyway?
Yeah.
What can I control? Put that in front of me and focus on it. Everything else, put it behind me and leave it up to God. What a simplistic way, but a peaceful way to live life.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't have a ton of pet peeves. Grossness, back hair.
I'm going to tell you what.
That kind of stuff.
I'm going to tell you where me and you, we are real raw and relevant. And we have probably, with the books you've written, the interviews we did one the other day, problems with our kids and time, we have bore our soul. I stood
We've
up.
been very
I
honest.
stood up a few weeks ago and told the entire world all my streams of income. Hope, nobody does that. Nobody, especially preachers. But just for the sake of transparency and credibility to be able to preach on the subject. Mm-hmm. So we have shared so much. But you know what? We ain't been dumb and stupid and unwise in everything we've done. We did some things right. We both dated a long time, and we chose a partner where we have a whole lot more things we like about each other than we don't like.
Absolutely.
There weren't many surprises.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about brokenness. I'm not talking about the things you hid in your heart because you were ashamed. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just characteristics, personality traits, things in life that you loved and I loved too. They outnumbered the pet peeves. Let me tell you where you're in trouble. If you got about as many things you don't like about them as you do like, that's when you need the grace of God.
I wouldn't have married you in the first place
that's when
if
the
that
grace
was the case.
And that's what I'm saying. I see people do that.
Yeah.
I see people do that.
They think they can change the people. We actually had somebody email in, wanting us to talk about being unequally yoked. And
we can talk about that one day, probably.
Yes. And I looked at Jaslyn, though. I said, here's the thing about that. I said, they knew that they were not a Christian when they married them. I said, and what they're wanting is for us to give them permission
to get out
of the marriage now that they have seen the light and become saved, and their spouse
1 Corinthians
not.
chapter 7 says if they want to remain, it is your mandate to remain.
Yeah.
And so the Bible is actually very, very clear about that. But that's one thing I think, is actually we're already drawing toward our half-hour mark, that out of all the dumb stuff and pain that we've shared, and most of our mistakes have been lived publicly. We didn't have many private mistakes. They were all public. We did do some things right. And that is the fact that we share a myriad of commonalities. We like to go to the exact same places. We like the exact same foods. We share the exact same favorite restaurants. We have the exact same destinations. We can say we got 3 days where when we go and the same thing will come out of mine and your mouth.
But we are still two different humans. Although we're married, we love each other, we're becoming one every single day of our life. We're still, I want to go to bed earlier than you. You want to sit up later. I mean, we have things.
So what do? You just roll with it.
Yeah, that are different. That you're different.
I just don't want you to sit up with me.
Yeah, they're going to.
And here's why I want you to sit up with me. Because when we worked so much, I didn't get home till night. You was ready for bed, especially after the kids. You done. You ready to take a bath and go to bed. I want somebody to talk to. So it wasn't that you were bad. It wasn't that I was bad. It was that we were different, and there had to be a grace that comes in there. Because this is the answer to all that. It's always grace. What did God give me for everything about me that's very unlikable?
Grace.
Grace. What did God give the world who didn't deserve? He gives them grace. What do I live by every day of my life because I can't get it right? Grace. So when I come into a relationship with others, there should be a supply. Grace does not take. Grace supplies. And when there should be a supply of grace that is greater than the nuances of marriage partners, lifelong friends, or even family relationships. You know, you talking about pet peeves. Sometimes there's no greater pet peeves than family. That's probably a whole nother podcast. But, you have different family members with traits that maybe are just so unattractive, and they probably think we have some that are unattractive.
But you do have to be honest. I believe you have to sit down and talk. If it's people in your circle that you're close to, this bothers me. I've come to you. This bothers me. I don't like it when you do this.
We've had a million talks like that.
You come to me, Hope. I don't like it when you blah 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 whatever. But you have to be honest. And sometimes you have to create boundaries. I mean, if it's not your spouse, if it's family members or friends, like I said, we don't go out to eat with certain people all the time because we just can't take it. Right. Just can't take it.
We have so much.
The negativity,
Yeah, we have so
the
much.
whatever, them fight, or even another couple. You go out with another couple and they fight all the time.
They make you uncomfortable because they fight the whole time.
Yes, and I'm like, I can't do that. I
Yeah.
can't, because we don't argue in front of people.
No, we don't.
So that's our standard. But it's a pet peeve when you go out and other people do it. Mm-hmm. So you have to be honest, number one. You have to create boundaries, number two. But then you have to continually give grace.
And be gracious.
Yeah.
And I think every relationship, if it's a real relationship, there's going to be more things about it that are attractive than unattractive. I don't know why somebody would invite someone into their life that they hate everything about them.
Right.
That doesn't make sense to me. I'm sure through codependency and brokenness, people may do that. Yeah, people may do that. But in a functional, healthy relationship, you're going to like 80% of the person and understand the 20, because the 80 brings so much to your life. The 20 is going to get
treasure
grace.
in a field?
Yeah, it's going to. It's the Naaman principle too. The Naaman, he brought great victories to his king, but he was a leper. The victories they bring versus the leprosy they have, and you got to weigh it out. And if the victories outweigh the leprosy, you maintain it. If the leprosy outweighs the victories, you may have to make a decision. And so that's kind of really the way that we govern our lives.
But I think it says a lot about our own personal heart if we are able to love people well, if we are able to extend grace well. It doesn't say anything about the other person and the person who's getting on your nerves. It says everything about me and my ability to love you well. Mm-hmm. I don't keep a record of wrongs. You don't keep a record, Ron, of how long I snore.
No, I forgot about it right after you did it. Do you like it when I feel it in a buck in uncommon places?
I love it.
Is that a pet peeve?
No, I love that. When we are in church or in a restaurant or something, Stephen Ward or somebody will come and sit down at the table and you're like, woo! And you act like the Holy Ghost has hit you. I love that. I love that about you.
I remember he walked by me one time in an airplane. I started bucking back and forth in the seat, just kicking the seat. He got embarrassed because I was like, his touch did it to me.
Anyway.
I did it to another time. I did it at a guy at a funeral.
You did.
Yeah, it was at a funeral and I started bucking when they touched me. That's not a pet peeve. It makes you laugh.
It does make me laugh.
That's anyway. Guys, the fact is, it's just the principle of grace. Grace keeps you connected through the things about people that are unlovable and unattractive. I am so grateful for the grace of God because I can't imagine how many things about me have to be a turn off to God. Have to be times when I'm ungrateful, times when my perspective's not right, times when I get a bad attitude, times when I'm tired and I'm aggravated. I can't imagine all these things about but he supplies me with grace because God anticipated my weaknesses.
Yeah, that's why he had to come.
So you need to go into a relationship anticipating
so good
that there are things about them that are not going to be to your liking. So that's the place you give
It'll
grace.
put your love to the test, it's for sure.
It will. Well, we've gone a little bit past our time. We like to do it for about a half hour, but I hope that we've got some laughs out of it and maybe a little encouragement.
Yeah.
Well, I think somebody was expecting me probably to give the 4 principles to how to overcome pet peeves.
Nah.
It's not that. It's grace.
Yeah.
It's just grace. Is there a supply of grace? And that's to anything really in life that is challenging or unlikable or, distasteful. There's got to be a supply of grace in your life. And when that supply of grace is there, you're able to overcome the bad things and focus on the good. Anything else you want to add?
No, I'm just like rubbing your knee right here, just loving
we need to
on
get
you.
off air. All right.
I love you guys.
Listen, guys, hope that
been
you've
awesome.
enjoyed this. Got some great podcasts coming up. We got some great podcast ideas we're talking about.
Yep.
And I may do that unequally yoked thing, and I may do one that's a lot more serious that it won't be a lot of laughing. There's been one on soul ties. We've been having kind of dangling and that we've gotten some questions about. And I actually did a couple of messages
We've done
where I
2
preached
podcasts
the whole
on
things.
soul ties, though. They can
but
look them up.
I'm talking about I may bring my actual notes in here and actually go through some of the stuff, because we just talked about it. But to actually tell people how to get free from it. I don't know that we've ever really
me and
walked
Pastor
people through
Denise did that.
Y'all did that,
Yes.
okay. But maybe we don't need to revisit it. Was that a long time ago, or was that recent?
Oh, it's been over a year ago, yeah.
Okay, we may need to revisit that then. But until next time, this is Ron and Hope.
Unfiltered.
Real, raw, and relevant.
Yeah,
I appreciate
like this,
you guys.
share it. Put this on your Facebook page. Put this on your Instagram
Where
page.
else?
Tell all of your friends to come
Subscribe.
listen. Subscribe, share. We love you guys. Listen, if you have not registered for the Power Couple Retreat, August 8th through the 10th in beautiful Half Moon Bay. We only have about 20 spots available. We're only taking 50 couples, and it's going to be intimate. It's going to be personal. We're going to be talking about mastering your life, your marriage, your business, your life in general. We want to see you there.
All right.
Go register. Go to roncarpenter.com/powercouples. Love you guys.
Till next time, God bless. We'll see you later.